Thank you for listening to a Still Moment podcast. We are all about asking questions and having honest conversations so that we can reflect and grow to live like we mean it. All content presented in this podcast is of a general nature and represents the presenter's personal experiences. It is not designed as a substitute to professional care. Thanks for tuning in.
Hi, I'm Jenna. Welcome to our first episode of a Still Moment podcast. So this is your first installment in a 7-part series that explores my songwriting journey and the key themes around what it means to be human. So while it might not make sense to dive into a heavy topic first up, I feel this is really important. So we're going to talk about grief and healing. So trigger warning. So if you have a history of trauma and loss and things are still raw for you, I'd really encourage you to consider waiting until you have a supportive friend nearby before you listen to this. And also that you seek extra support as you need it. So in Australia, Lifeline and Beyond Blue are two services that could be helpful to contact. So let's dive in. So a few years ago, I was confronted with the unexpected ending of my marriage at the time. As you can imagine, this was really painful for me. It was a tricky time for me to figure out what was going on. I had lots of big feelings that I just didn't know what to do with. So part of what I do to try and be okay was to tee up regular phone calls with my mates. So I remember one phone call with my best friend where I was explaining that it felt like I'd been given a bowl of the most putrid, rotting food imaginable, and I wasn't allowed to put the bowl down until I'd eaten it all up. And my friend jokingly said that she couldn't eat it for me, but she'd be there to spoon feed me and support me. It was funny and gross all at once in that moment, but I've reflected on this a bit more. So when something unpleasant and unexpected happens, like a relationship breakdown, loss of a loved one, loss of job, or other traumatic events, we can really feel like we're getting the short end of the stick. So we have to grieve these losses to process and move forward. I realized that I could have gone around in circles asking why, but until I accepted the fact that my relationship had ended and there was literally nothing I could do about it, I would be left holding this bowl of stinky food. Ew. And if I didn't digest that this had happened, the contents of the bowl would become more and more rotten the longer I left it, and I'd be going through life holding this stinky bowl and unable to fully grasp the opportunities that were coming at me with both hands. So for me, accepting that my relationship had broken down was the first step in healing. Like taking a spoonful of rotten food, it really wasn't pleasant, but it was necessary. So the song I'm going to play for you right now was written about a month after this marriage had ended. This was a relationship that I'd poured my heart into, and this song holds a space for the pain of that loss of what I hope this marriage would be, but also was a way for me to process and accept what was happening.
Separate meals and separate houses, embracing the pain of this disconnection. One becomes two, and I'll be who I am, separate from you. This isn't what I wanted, but maybe this is what I need. Weighed down by the negativity, now I'm free. Choose your actions, so I'll choose mine. I'll pull myself together, and I'll be just fine. You can see I'm moving on. I have found that I am strong, becoming more than who I was. Once unsure, but now I'm certain. It's time to cut these ties. It's time for me to grow. Embracing the pain of this disconnection. One becomes two. I'll be who I am, separate from you. This isn't what I wanted, but maybe this is what I need. Weighed down by the negativity, now I'm free. I can't choose your actions, so I'll choose mine. I'll pull myself together, and I'll be just fine. You don't know who you are, you don't know what you want, but I know who I am, and I know that I am strong. You don't know who you are, you don't know what you want, but I know who I am, and I know that I am strong. This isn't what I wanted, but maybe this is what I need. Weighed down by the negativity, now I'm free. I can't choose your actions, so I'll choose mine. I'll pull myself together. It's my time to shine. It's my time to shine. It's my time to shine. It's my time to shine.
So, in this song, one of the key sentiments that was captured is the line, I can't choose your actions, so I'll choose mine. So for me to be able to say this was a really big turning point for me. It was empowering for me to realize what I did and I didn't have control over. So as we know in life, I can't make other people's choices for them, but I can choose how I respond and own my own choices. So at the time that I wrote this song, I made the decision that I'd try not to make choices that I would regret in 5 years. I made a commitment to take actions that were consistent with the person that I was choosing to be, rather than reacting from how I was feeling at the time. And I'm really grateful that I've made that choice, because I'm much closer to that 5-year mark, and I've made decisions that I haven't regretted. It was a really good choice for me. So grief and pain aren't something that we can avoid by ignoring. So grief is something that we must go through, and that has to go through us. So much like digesting food, we need to break down and absorb the things that are beneficial, and this becomes a part of us, and we're not the same as what we were, but we also excrete the waste. So this next song, it was written the day I found out about a multiple fatality crash that deeply impacted my local community and some good friends of mine. The first verse acknowledges the very real encounters that I've had with God. Then it states that there's so much that I just don't understand. The chorus, "Take me on this journey," is an invitation for God to be present in my difficulty to process what's happened. The second verse summarizes different facets of grief, like being disillusioned, shock, anger, depression, bargaining, that if only I'd done more, before circling back to accepting that I have questions and that I take these questions to God. So we're going to listen to this one now.
I've seen your hand in my lacking and heard your voice upon the wind. I've known the peace of your presence and felt the warmth of your embrace, but there's still so much I don't understand. Take me on this journey, lead me on this path. You said you'd never leave me, so I will seek your face. Lead me through this wilderness. close to you. My heart is heavy with questions. I will look to you. I will look to you. I've been disillusioned, shocked beyond belief, overcome by doubt and anger. I have wallowed in the deep, regretted my decisions, replayed scenes in my mind. But the question I can't answer is why. 'Cause there's still so much that I don't understand. Take me on this journey, lead me on this path. You said you'd never leave me, so I will seek your face. Lead me through this wilderness, draw me close to you. My heart is heavy with questions. I will look to you. I will look to you. I will look to you. I will look to you.
So writing this song helped me to accept that it was okay to have questions and that I could take my questions to God. It's okay for you to have questions too. So today we've talked about some really big topics. I've spoken to you about how grief is like a bowl of food that you're left holding until you eat it and empty the bowl. The longer you leave it, the more rotten it becomes. But we can accept and then digest what's happened, and we can look to God with our questions because He is the ultimate healer. So we can't always change what happened, but we do get to choose how we respond. So when we have a product issue, we refer to the manufacturer. Given that God is our creator or our manufacturer, we can turn to God with our unanswered questions and with our pain. He is the ultimate source of comfort. So in the Bible, in Matthew 5:4, Jesus says, "Blessed are those who mourn, for they will be comforted." And that is a promise that you can hold on to. So as we wrap up, I pray that you will know the peace of God and experience the comfort of the Holy Spirit as you go about your days. May you have the clarity to recognize the lies that are holding you back and have the courage to step forward into a good future. So in the Bible, Jeremiah 29:11 says, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you a hope and a future." So while you may not see a hope or a future just yet, you can ask God to show you His hope as you wait on Him. Thanks for tuning in.
You can continue to remain in a still moment by streaming the A Still Moment album by Enveloped Music on any streaming platform. If you are enjoying what we are doing, please head over to our socials to like and subscribe to our page and to also let your friends know. Thank you so much.